Today we're going to look at the order of operations. So to evaluate a long expression means work out, to evaluate, to get a value for a long expression. The rule for working through the problem follows this hierarchy. So a hierarchy is where we start at one point and work our way through it, work our way down. And the reason that we have an order of operations is because some operations need to occur before others, as they're not more important, but the order that we do them in is important. So we start with looking for the brackets. That's at the top of this pyramid that we have here, this triangle. We start with the brackets. So anything that's inside the brackets, we do that first. Then we have a look for powers or indices. That's any square numbers, any cube numbers, or even to any other high powers. Then we look at working with them next. Then we look at the multiplication and division parts of the expression, and we do them at the same time, the multiplication and division parts. And then finally, we work through the addition and subtraction parts. So if we have a look at our example here, it is a long expression and it looks quite daunting. But if we work through our triangle over here, our hierarchy, and start with the brackets and work our way down, then we can have a look at that. So we can see there's a few sets of brackets here. Let's just have a look at these ones first. We can evaluate those. So inside this set of brackets, it's -2 plus 3. -2 plus 3 is going to be 1, positive 1. So that's the answer there. We can just put that in the expression below. We're not going to change anything else over here. We could, having a look at this, the -5 is in brackets by itself. We won't look at doing that now, and the reason for that is because the only reason it's in the brackets is to separate itself out and show that it is a negative number that's having an operation on it. So the actual operation for this negative number is a divide. It's in brackets by itself, but it's not an operation inside that brackets. It's just a value. So here we've only done this one part of the expression. The next part, we don't have any other brackets that we can work with. We can have a look for any powers or indices. We can see there's one square number here, 3 squared. We know the answer to that is 9, so we can evaluate that on the next line. So that's the only thing that's changed. The 3 squareds become a 9 on the next line here, the next full line. So we've got 1 times 4 plus 9 plus 6 minus 5 divided by -5. Next, we have a look for multiplication and division. We can see there's one multiply here, and there's also a division, so we can do those. So we do the 1 times 4, that's 4 here. We leave the plus 9 and the plus 6, and then we have a look at the divide. So the divide is 5 divided by -5, and we've got a positive divided by a negative here. So we're going to be, the subtraction stays where it is. We're just looking at the 5 divided by -5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, but it's because it's a positive divided by a negative, it's going to be -1. So you can see here -1. So 5 divided by 5, -1. And we've got that subtract -1 there. Now, we don't have any more addition and multiplication and division left. We've only got addition and subtraction. So we can do all of those. And to make it easier, we can add all of the things that look quite easy to add. All of the 4 plus 9 plus 6, we can do that quite easily. And have a look at this. It's subtracting a negative number, which can catch us up. So we'll have a look at doing that as a separate step. So 4 plus 9 plus 6, that is going to be 19, and we're left with the subtract -1. If we subtract a negative, that's the same as adding. Okay, so subtracting our negative number is the same as adding the opposite, so adding 1. So 19 plus 1 is 20. That's the answer for our very long and complicated. Well, it's okay. It's easy once you get the hang of it, and we've got our lovely hierarchy there to follow to make it easy for us. Starting with the brackets, powers and indices, multiplication and division together, and addition and subtraction together then. We have a look at a couple of examples here. Our first one, 5 minus 6 times -2. We don't see any brackets. Well, we do have brackets around the -2, but that's just to separate it out as a negative number. So we've got multiplying by a negative here. So we don't have any indices either, so we can look at multiplication and division. We do have one multiply here, so we've got 6 multiplied by -2. That's going to be a negative number because we've got a positive multiplied by a negative, then 6 times 2 is 12. So we've got negative 12 there. So it'll be 5 minus negative 12. And we know minus negative 12, subtracting a negative is going to be the same as adding the opposite. So we add 12, 5 plus 12, and that's 17. So very easy there. Here we've got negative 21 divided by, then we have brackets, got in brackets 5 minus negative 2. So we've got our brackets here that we need to start with. That's the top of our hierarchy. So 5 minus negative 2. Subtracting a negative, same as adding the opposite to it, so it's the same as 5 plus 2. So we've got negative 21 divided by 5 plus 2. We just need to do the operation in the brackets first, and that's 5 plus 2, which is 7. So we've got negative 21 divided by 7. And we've got a negative divided by a positive, so the answer will be negative. And the answer here, 21 divided by 7, is going to be 3, and it's going to be a negative 3.